happens when you create one of the most popular fantasy series of the past 2 decades and then you can't finish? Your fan base becomes disillusioned and eventually people become upset with you. Welcome to our newest series when writers and fans have complicated relationships. No, not him. This is Patrick Rothfuss, a man who chose to skip right past middle age and went straight into his old bearded wizard era. He is the author of the King Killer Chronicles, one of the most popular fantasy series of the past 20 years. I adore these books. I do have some feelings about them, but we're not here to talk about that. Our story begins in 2007 when our intrepid hero, Patrick Rothfuss, publishes his first novel, The Name of the Wind. Like most debut authors, it is not an overnight sensation, but people do take notice. It wins a couple of awards, fans begin to read it, and eventually he gains a following. He spends the next 4 years working on the second book in this series, and in 2011 he publishes The Wise Man's Fear. Now, this ends up debuting on the New York Times bestseller list. It is a hit. People love it. But of course, as it becomes more popular, the one thing people are concerned about is when's the next book coming out, because this is a trilogy. Now, Rothfuss is an avid Twitch streamer and blogger, and anyone who follows him closely knows that he struggles with depression and anxiety and perfectionism, making the writing process much more difficult. Plus, the overwhelming popularity of these books has added a lot of pressure, but it does seem like he's working on it. In 2015, he tells a Chilean magazine that he actually has an entire first draft written. Good things take time. But in 2020, things take an interesting turn. You see, that's when his editor/publisher, Betsy Wallum, goes onto Facebook and in a since-deleted post mentions that she does not believe that Rothfuss has written anything in this series since 2014. And not only that, but she has personally never seen a single page from The Doors of Stone. Now here's the thing. Fans are not actually owed anything. An author or an artist can walk away from their creation at any time and be under no obligation to their fans to create more. Rothfuss has every right to walk away from this series. He may owe his publisher something, but he owes his fans nothing. That finished or unfinished, they just have to deal with whether he chooses to go on or not. However, something happened in 2021 to kind of change this. In December of that year, Rothfuss went live on Twitch and promised his fans that if they raised a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time for his charity, that he would then release the prologue to The Doors of Stone. His fans were so hungry for anything from this book that this happened almost immediately. Rothfuss then went on to promise that if they doubled their charity goal and made that in a certain amount of time, that he would release an entire chapter from the book. When that goal was then met, Rothfuss promised his fans on live that he would actually get an entire cast of voice actors to voice this chapter if they met double the goal again. They raised almost $1.25 million for charity. Now, Rothfuss has fulfilled some of these promises. He did release the prologue to The Doors of Stone. This extra chapter, however, has never materialized. And when pressed on it, Rothfuss has always said that it's because he's had a hard time finding the right voice actors and getting everyone in the same room, and it's a scheduling issue. Some of his fans who donated money are actually quite upset about this because they feel like they were made a promise and he has not fulfilled it. Now, Rothfuss has talked a lot about how he's had anxiety and depression and faced a lot of personal losses in the past few years, which has made it very hard for him to write. That being said, I do think the fans that gave money under a certain pretense are owed something. Whether or not it's actually this chapter from the book is another question. I truly believe that Rothfuss would write this book if he could. I imagine he wants this done just as much as his fans, if not more so. I don't think the third book is ever going to be released. I'd love to be proved wrong. I just don't think it's going to happen. The first 2 books are still really good, and I can just be content with those. I don't need the third book. I'm okay with that.